Hello friends. Today for our math lesson we'll be working on Module 4, lesson number 25, divide a whole number by a unit fraction. Let's take a look at a word problem. Mark has 2 pounds of chocolate chips. If he puts 2 pounds in each bag, how many bags will he make? So let's represent Mark's chocolate chips with a tape diagram. This represents Mark's 2 pounds of chocolate chips. Now let's also draw a number line down underneath. We are going to start that number line right underneath the tape diagram. We're going to have it go to the end of that tape diagram. It starts at 0 and it'll end at 2 because Mark has 2 pounds of chocolate chips. So we want to put 2 pounds in each bag and figure out how many bags that Mark would make. If we look, we have 2 right here, and this is 2 pounds of chocolate chips. So I am putting 2 pounds divided by 2 pounds, and that would equal 1. There are no spaces in between here, so there's 1 bag. So Mark would make 1 bag. Let's keep going. Mark now has 2 pounds of chocolate chips, but he wants to put 1 pound in each bag. Again, let's represent those 2 pounds with a tape diagram. And then we're going to take it, put our number line starting with 0 right below, and go all the way to the 2, since the 2 represents the whole that Mark has, the 2 whole pounds of chocolate chips. However, in this piece, we want to put 1 pound in each bag and figure out how many bags that Mark would make. If we look down here at our number line, we would see that about halfway between 0 and 2 would be the number 1. And if we draw our dotted line up here, we would see that there's 1, 2. The 2 pounds of chocolate chips divided by the 1 pound in each bag would equal 2 bags. So in this one, Mark would make 2 bags. Let's keep going. Mark has 2 pounds of chocolate chips. However, this time we are putting 1/2 pound in each bag. Now we are working with a fraction. Let's draw our tape diagram again. That shows Mark's 2 pounds. And start our number line again with 0, and we stop at 2. We know about halfway between would be 1, but now we have to break these up into half pounds. So we need to know how many half pounds would be in 2 wholes. If we look at our number line, about halfway between 0 and 1 would be 1/2. And we know that 1 actually equals 2 halves. And we know that 2 then would equal 4 halves. So about halfway between 1 and 2, we'd have 3 halves. So if you make our little dotted lines up to break up our tape diagram, we can see that we're breaking our tape diagram into 4 sections. Our 2 whole pounds of chocolate chips are broken up into half pounds. That would equal 4 spaces or 4 bags. So here, Mark would make 4 bags. Again, where we go. All right, Mark still has 2 pounds of chocolate chips. Let's represent that with our tape diagram. If he puts 1/4 pound in each bag, how many bags will he make? So now we're dealing with the 2 whole pounds of chocolate chips and our number line that starts at 0 and ends at 2. halfway between is a 1. But here now, we want to break this up into 1/4 or 1/4 of a pound. So we need to know how many fourths or how many quarters are in our whole of 2 pounds of chocolate chips. So if we look between 0 and 1, there's going to be 4 quarters. So this would be the first one, 1/4. This would be the second one, 2 quarters. This would be 3 quarters. And we know that the number 1 is actually equal to 4 quarters. Here is our 5 quarters, 6 quarters, 7 quarters, and 2 is equal to 8 quarters. Again, if we do our little dotted lines to break up our tape diagram, we can see that that tape diagram is going to break up into 8 pieces. 2 pounds of chocolate chips. Putting 1/4 of a pound of chocolate chips in each bag will make 8 bags. So let's review. If we have a whole, let's say it equals 2. And we divide it by a fraction. Let's say 1/4. We're going to draw our number line that represents this number, and our whole should be the same. Then we're going to divide it up into the spaces. Here we can see that we need to divide it up into quarters or 1/4. So we're going to divide each whole section of our number line. So here we have 1/4, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, 5 quarters, 6 quarters, 7 quarters, and 2 equals 8 quarters. So putting our little dotted lines and breaking up our tape diagram according to how we split up our number line is going to help us see how many spaces. Here I could see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 divided by 1/4 equals 8. Now, let's move on to our Nearpod, and we're going to practice what we learned today. Thank you.